Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Today's podcast is all about the healing days of the Pyramid Festival, a special part of the festival dedicated to self-discovery. This event unfolds in the mystical setting of Rtanj Mountain, a place renowned for its natural beauty and enigmatic energy, often compared to a pyramid itself and most probably pyramid itself. This year, from August 6 to 8, the festival transforms into a sanctuary of healing, and we are diving into a variety of experiences from enlightening workshops to sacred ceremonies, all designed to harmonize mind, body, and soul. It's an invitation to step away from the everyday and immerse yourself in healing practices. So, joining us today to share his deep connection with these ancient healing traditions is Nagual Uchu, a shaman with roots deep in the spiritual soil of South America, and now spreading those roots here in the Balkans. Uchu, it's great to have you with us to explore how these practices can reshape our lives. And this is not the first time we meet. I had the privilege to attend your workshops, and from the first hand, I know you're full of incredible stories and insights that inspire and captivate everyone who has the chance to listen.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
And to see you again.
Yeah, nice. Very nice occasion too. Let's start from the beginning, right? Can you share with us your journey into becoming a Nagual, a shaman? What drew you to this path, and how has your South American heritage influenced your practice?
Well, everything started for me when I was a child because my grandmother was a shaman and a healer. So I started to learn from early childhood some techniques, some healing techniques, etc. But everything changed for me when I met Carlos Castaneda. I was 19 years old. It was in Argentina. And I didn't even know who Castaneda was at that time. But this meeting changed everything for me because he came to Argentina with some other people of his group. In this group was a woman called Guadalupe. She was also 19, and we fell in love, So she invited me to go to Guatemala. She's a Mayan Indian from Guatemala. So I went to Guatemala. I stayed 8 months there. And in Guatemala was where I discovered Nagualism. That Nagualism is a branch of shamanism, but specific, a little bit different than normal shamanism, So like this I started to learn in a very informal way techniques for consciousness expansion, healing, astral traveling, working with energies, etc. Little by little, I discovered that shamanism was very close to me. I don't know how, Shamanism is not a religion, it's not a philosophy, it's a system. It's a system that if you apply it every day in your life, well, it takes you closer to your nature, because shamanism is an earth-based practice. We see everything alive, in shamanism. The sky, the rivers, the mountains all have spirits, consciousness, mind. And although this consciousness is different than ours, they are still alive for us, so we can communicate, learn from them. So in shamanism, or especially in Nagualism, there are no books, there are no written stuff. We learn from nature. Our books are the rivers, the trees, etc. So I found shamanism very practical. That's what I like the most. It's something that you can apply in your everyday life and make your life better.
Nice. But you did not stop on Nagualism, right? You explored many other different ways of shamanism and cultures.
Yes.
Like I even think Siberian, right? And African.
Yes. Okay. I went to Siberia to learn some techniques with the Buryat. This is a part of Siberian shamanism. Because if you go deep to what shamanism, the word shamanism comes from Siberia. The word shaman has many translations, but in Siberian language means the one who sees in the dark. So I was drawn to many shamanic traditions. I traveled 20 years meeting shamans from all traditions, especially in Africa, also in Europe, South America, North America. Yes. So after many, many years practicing all these techniques, well, I took what worked for me. I put it all together and I created what I called modern shamanism, which basically are ancient techniques adapted to modern life. In the past, shamans, they went into caves for many weeks and they practiced under waterfalls and in forest, remote places. But I simplified these teachings and I made it accessible to everybody every day, that you can practice when you are in the supermarket, in your office, driving your car. So this is what I call urban shamanism or modern shamanism.
Nice. I'm going to ask you about that later. So let's go back a bit to our cause or the reason why are we here. So the Pyramid Festival at Rtanj Mountain is a gathering of a unique significance. So you probably have experienced some pyramidal structures in South America. Maybe you visited some pyramids in South America.
Yes.
How do you perceive Rtanj Mountain? Have you ever had a chance to visit maybe Rtanj? And do you maybe feel connection between pyramids or across the world, and how that influence people? What are your thoughts on this?
Okay. I haven't been in the Serbian pyramids, but I've been in many pyramids, especially, in South America, Central America, Asia. I also spent part of my life in Asia. So pyramids first of all connected. You ask, what is the connection? Oh, they were in the past connected through a energetic grid. Most pyramids are built on ley lines, on main ley lines, or they cross. So the Earth, the planet itself, is alive, and it has an energetic field, an energetic grid. Like we as humans, we have, our Ida, Pingala, Kundalini, meridians, etc. Well, the Earth has too. So the pyramids, most of them are built on the meridians of the Earth. So they are energetically connected. Now, many pyramids nowadays are not active. They were active in the past energetically. They are not, most of them now. Pyramids are a little, misunderstood by science, by historians, etc. Pyramids are very, very important. In the old times, pyramids were used to encode knowledge. So when you connect energetically with certain pyramids, you download a lot of information and knowledge. Also, I know this will be a little bit weird and irrelevant probably, but pyramids are also calendars. In the proportion of pyramids, there are embedded dates.
Interesting.
So if you know how to read them, you can not predict, but you can see patterns over time repeating. You see, we are not the first civilization on Earth. I know this is not mainstream knowledge, but there were other civilizations before us. Many of them, actually, we are the 42 civilization happening on this planet. And if you look back, almost nothing is left from previous civilizations. Only what is in stone, only rocks, only this kind of things for a process that I want to explain now, but all organic material changes. So the only way the ancient civilization found to transmit knowledge to the new generations of civilizations was encoding this knowledge in stone, in pyramids especially, you know.
Yes. I mean, very logical, yes.
Pyramids have many functions, the energetic functions, you know, the healing, the land. You know, some people say that if you take some pyramids, some of the main pyramids away from reality, the planet will spin in another different speed or different patterns, and this will change life altogether. So pyramids are stabilizers of the movements of Mother Earth, etc.
Yeah.
But because many people over time have used pyramids for rituals, for gatherings, for many things, all this energy is embedded in the pyramid. So when you enter a pyramid or you are near to one, you will feel some energies that most people just feel good, you know. But if you fine tune, you can read these energies. It's like a book. You read a history book.
Yeah.
Pyramids.
Yeah,
yes.
I correlate with your story. Last year, had opportunity to visit Bosnian pyramids for, I don't know, I visited that place for several times. But what I notice now is that people are gathering around these structures. So Bosnian pyramids, you know, attracting people are flocking there. This year going to be also festival there. Rtanj Mountain recognized more and more as a pyramid, also people flocking there. And even in 2012, you know, when there was like this prophecy of doomsday, people from all around the world went to Rtanj. So yeah, it's like energy generators attracting people, and I think
absolutely. Pyramids, they were in the past, they were power plants. They were generating actual electricity. You see, we live in an electric universe, and we are electric beings. In school, they told us that we are biochemical, but that's not true. We are electrical. So pyramids are technology. For us, are just, for normal people nowadays, are rocks in a form of pyramid, but they are power plants. They heal the land around them. You know, they channel energy. You see, when you ask me about Nagualism, the goal of Nagualism is to become a sorcerer, but not a sorcerer in the negative connotation of the word. For us, a sorcerer is the one that channels the source, is the one that's connected to the source. So human beings can connect to the source. We are connected. We need to become aware of this connection. But pyramids too. Pyramids also are connected to a source of power and energy and wisdom. And through the geometry of the pyramid, this source energy is channeled into the land. You know, that's why people feel good around pyramids.
Okay, so you mentioned many powerful words now, so I just want to stop here and elaborate on this. And also this brings us back to the modern shamanism. So you mentioned awareness, you mentioned source, you mentioned integrating all this. So I remember one of your stories from one of your workshops. You said that if you're not aware of something, that does not exist for you, and you made example about a guy who is sitting on a chair, and then you can put a bag of $1 million next to him, but if he does not see that, he's not aware of that bag, so he doesn't have it in his awareness, meaning in his life, in his reality. So let's talk about modern shamanism, what you already started talking about, how that help us, expand our awareness, even maybe, how to say, not control, but maybe influence our reality in a way that maybe we desire. So can you just elaborate on this a bit?
Yes, thank you for the question. It's a very good question. You see, for shamans, this life is a dream. We call it the dream. Then in India, that you are probably more familiar with this terminology than me, they call it Maya, the illusion. Quantum physics calls it the holographic reality. Now, more modern theories call it the simulation. It doesn't matter the name, but all of these names implies that it's not as real the way we thought is real. So, with shamanism, what New Age calls expanding awareness, we call it waking up from the dream. So, we have a lot of techniques that are designed to expand awareness, let's call it like this. The way we do that is leaving the conscious mind behind or stopping it for a little bit. In Nagualism, it's called stopping the world, meaning stepping out of the collective consciousness, of the tabloid reality, of the agreed reality, and venturing into the unknown. Because only when you face something new, the unknown, your awareness is forced to expand. If you live a routinary life, every day the same, every day the same story, you don't need more awareness for that. Understand? So we use consciousness journeys or shamanic journeys in order to enter what we call the parallel realities or the left side awareness, temporarily canceling the conscious mind. Because the conscious mind, the one we are using right now, only understands the conscious experience of reality. But this is like 2% of the possibilities of consciousness, or a little more, I don't know the percentage, So when you venture into new knowledge, new awareness, new experiences, your awareness need to expand. Now, awareness is being used, the word, for describing many things that, because you have physical awareness, mental awareness, spatial awareness, there are a lot of kind of awareness. But the thing with awareness is that it deletes all patterns of thinking, cancels the collective mind, and doesn't give you new patterns, new repetitions of reality. So every time you expand a little bit your awareness, your reality expands proportionally. That's why shamans say we live all in the same world, but not in the same reality. Understand? Nice. So there are many exercises to expand awareness.
That's basically just the next thing I wanted to ask you about. I remember some of your stories which are really on the border of imagination. Like you were describing the pet of coyote, and also how there are some crazy exercises that you use as a modern shaman to how to say, bypass the reality. So you mentioned like you were when you were living in New York, I think, or some American city, you would put like these different dishes from the kitchen into your business bag, and then you would walk like that, and or maybe some weird stuff, that basically just kind of stop the reality.
Yes, because my way is to work on the spiritual path, but to have fun at the same time. Understand? I don't believe in no gain, no pain. Understand? I believe in no pain. What did I say right?
Yeah.
No pain, no gain.
Yeah.
Okay, I say it wrong. So I believe in no pain, all gain. Understand? So these are exercises that you just described. They are called non-doing. Because we are doing all the time. We are doing, even this talking is doing. But all doing is from the mind. And you cannot stop the mind. All these people, New Age, including the biggest yogis, gurus that tell you they can stop the mind, they are not doing it. The mind cannot be stopped, but can be observed, witness. So when you witness the mind, you realize that you are not the mind. So since we cannot stop doing, what we do is we call non-doing, meaning we do things that doesn't make sense for the mind. So what happened with the mind is the mind likes to be in control. Okay, if you go crazy for real, let's say, it's not good business for the mind, because if you are crazy, the mind cannot control you. So we do certain exercises that looks like craziness. We call it control folly. We know we are acting this, but the mind doesn't know, because the mind doesn't have any way to know the difference if you are believing what you are doing or you are acting. It's like when you read a book. You read a book that you travel to, I don't know, to Australia. Believe me, the mind doesn't know the difference between traveling to Australia for real or reading that you are traveling. So when we do the non-doing exercises, these are things that don't make sense for the mind. So you do it like you said, you dress well one day, you put your best clothes, take a shower, like for a wedding day, your best suit, whatever you want. Then you take all your cooking pots, put it in a bag, and take them for a walk. So you are walking, clank, 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 clank with that thing. And the first 10 minutes, the mind said, he's playing a game. The next 20 minutes, the mind said, wait a minute, something is wrong here. This guy is getting crazy. And after 40, 50 minutes, 1 hour, the mind said, something, I'll give him a break. I disconnect for some time, because the mind prefers to disconnect before acknowledging that you are getting crazy for real. And when the mind gives you a break, you feel free for the first time in your life. You feel expanded. You expand. So we have a lot of these exercises to, let's say, bypass the conscious mind. And then the moment you do that, your awareness expands. Your awareness will expand for sure. People say, for instance, this is not about awareness, maybe you cut this off, but people say, oh, we use 10% of the brain or something like that, 8%, 10%. I mean, why don't you use more if it's yours? Well, people don't use more than 10% because they don't need it. You don't need it for the routinary life that people have. They don't need more. Now, if tomorrow you try to learn Chinese, you will need more brain. Or you try to learn how to play ping pong, whatever. You activate new neuropath transmitters to activate other part of the brain.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so with awareness is the same. Why people don't expand their awareness exponentially is because they don't need it, because they do always the same. And the mind knows that as far as you keep doing the same life, I always say, you go to sleep and at night in the same bed. You wake up in the same bed, in the same bedroom. You go to the same bathroom. Then you brush your teeth with the same hand. Then you have the same breakfast. Then you go to work in the same street, in the same office. All the story. You have lunch every day in the same place, and you come back home in the same street, go to the same bed, and next day you do it again. So why would you need more awareness?
Yeah.
So the exercises I share with people are designed to quickly infuse more awareness into the now, because you cannot expand awareness in the past or in the future. That's the problem. Awareness can be expanded only now, in this very moment. And most people don't live in the now. They live or in the past or in the future. The mind sets you in the past or in the future. And today, quantum physics shows that even your body is in the past, 8 seconds in the past. So all my exercises of non-doing is to bring people to the now, to the present moment, when awareness expansions occurs naturally.
Okay, I mean, this is so amazing topic, so I would just also like to stay a bit on this and to give also to expand also this from the different perspectives. So what does it mean? I know, because I know you personally, of so many interesting stories of yours. One of these is you're traveling through India, meeting gurus. Even you were proclaimed, I think, a successor of one guru, something like that. You rejected that. You were also into the topic of enlightenment. Then after you left India, I think you said you wrote a book, How to Unenlighten, something like that. What does it mean? You were exposed to many different traditions, practices, and what you are sharing now with us is a kind of your personal sublimation of all these. What works, yes. What does not work. So can you just out of curiosity, and maybe the audience, share a bit your journey through India and your experience with other traditions and practices, and how you basically came to these conclusions that you are sharing with us now?
Yes, you remember well. The thing is, I started when I was really a teenager, young, 13, something. I started with meditation, and all. I was a little drawn to this. It was fashion in the 70s, 80s, something, or all these things coming from India. So I decided to go to India and to find a teacher, a guru or something like that, like many people have done. But I'm from a small country in Latin America, India. Now we have internet, YouTube, you can see everything. At that time, there was nothing of this. So India was some kind of far away idea. It was not easy to just go and start walking there and trying to find a teacher. But one day I met 2 women that they said, listen, we are going to India and we go to some community, let's go. And they said to me, okay, they said, oh, it's tantra and sex and things. And I'm, okay, I'm going. I said,
that was Osho community, right?
Yes, this was after Osho community.
Yeah, okay.
But the thing is, I practice all this. I have many initiations in India, everything. And I met the biggest gurus of the time. But I don't know, it didn't resonate totally with me, That's why when I came back from India, right away was when I met Castaneda, which I want to say for the record, I met Castaneda, I saw him 2 days only, I never saw him again, because in some interviews, people say, oh, Uchu was student of Castaneda. I wasn't, I don't like him at all. No, I don't like Castaneda. I like the message, but not the messenger, But as you said, I put together many things that work for me, into modern shamanism. And I use a lot of techniques of pranayama, breathing techniques from India, because, and I also, because I have the ability to see energy since I'm a child. Since 8 years old, I started to see the auras, the chakras, things like that. Well, I also use the energetic, map, let's say, mapping of the energy body based on the Indians. I read the Vedas, I read all the books, I was in a temple, I was initiated to the 4-level Swami, that's 6 levels the maximum. I mean, I've been exploring all these meditation techniques and everything, but then I found shamanism much more practical and much more at reach of everybody every day. So, of course, I'm not claiming that shamanism is the only thing that will take you to the next level and expand everything. All the yogis, in India, they are also in the same path, But we are, not everybody has the luxury to sit in meditation for an hour a day and do yoga and breathing for 40 minutes every day, etc. So I found that many techniques of shamanism that are everyday techniques, that you can practice anywhere in the city or in the forest, they produce some effects, yes.
Okay, and so...
And sorry to interrupt you, man, because you mentioned the book. Yes, I was appointed enlightened or something like that in India by one big guru. But then when I came back years later, I wrote this book, The Path to Unenlightenment, because I discovered that enlightenment is also a trap. Understand? I don't believe, most of this, I always say, if you want to find the biggest egos on the planet, look for the gurus and the healers and all these people, I don't believe in these things.
I very, very clearly remember your statement, your statement. And it really left an impression on me because, I know you for a long time. And at that moment, I was also into different practices from India and gurus. But as time was passing by, more and more, I was also beginning to realize that this whole story may be about enlightenment, and the way how it's presented is a trap. So yeah, I think it should just boil down to the life itself, life as it is, life as a force of, that's just flowing. And yeah.
You see, one of the things from shamanism is that we say that you are already perfect. There is nothing to be improved in you. You can change this perfection you have today for another perfection. But the idea that something is wrong with you, that is what creates schizophrenia in the world. These are all religions. They are, preaching this. Oh, you are a sinner. You are born a sinner. You have problems. You have this. You have that. So that's why I believe that we are all born enlightened. The problem is then we forget. And how we forget that? Okay, around when we develop language, when we start speaking, when we develop language and personality, we forget who we are. Because personality the person is not you. When you ask people, who are you? The first thing they tell you the name, then the profession, where they come from. This is not what they are. This is what they do. So Uchu is not me. Uchu is the name of the experience I'm having right now. But under all these layers of condition, layer upon layer of conditioning, there is an enlightened being in every one of us.
Yes. But we also need this personality, and it needs to
absolutely
serve us. And it's
absolutely.
And
Personality.
there are many how to say paths, or we just want to annihilate personality. They say kill the ego, kill the personality, become I don't know what, some supreme being.
No.
It doesn't resonate with me. I think we need this personality. It should be kind of transcended, definitely, but it can be also crystallized. It can be perfected. When you are witnessing it, when you are not your true nature, you can use your personality as a let's say as a professional human being, like a real.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But this doesn't contradict what I was saying, I agree. I agree 100% with you. The personality is a tool. I mean, without personality, we couldn't be even be talking now.
Yes, exactly.
And what I'm saying is the personality is not you, okay? The personality is a description, a construct. Your essence has no personality. Your spirit has no personality. But we need personality to interact with everyday life, the world, and ourselves. No problem. What I'm saying is, first of all, the personality, and I have a lot of exercises that take you to this conclusion, because if I tell you, it doesn't matter. You need to realize it yourself, that the personality is a construct. It's a description. And you can change it anytime you want. You change the description. The idea of, like you mentioned, killing the ego, something like that you said, that is the biggest ego trip. I mean, getting rid of the ego is an ego trip.
Exactly.
Understand? There is nothing wrong with the ego.
Yeah.
If it's at your service. Now, when the ego becomes your master, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Understand? So in this reality we live in, which is called duality for a reason, everything is dual. The ego could be very good or very bad. The personality could be good or bad because everything has the opposite. Things cannot exist without the opposite in this reality. A few things exist without opposite here, like love and light and all the things that are not from here. So the personality should support you in your path, not block your path. That's the thing.
Very, very, very good to clarify these things, especially in this, let's call it new age, where, we have now kind of a hybrid time of everything, where everything is mixing up so many wrong understandings of some ancient traditions and, giving interpretations, however people want, they just interpret it in a way they like it, etc., etc. But so Uchu, a man who traveled so much, who learned so much, and you end up in the Balkans. So, you made your home in Slovenia, and which is one of the Balkan countries. You were also visiting Serbia often. So, what drew you to this region, and how does it compare to the spiritual landscapes of South America?
Well, first of all, I came here because of love. Okay, I met a woman in France. We married. Now it's my ex-wife now, but she's Slovenian. She invited me to come here for a weekend, and I fell in love with this country. I was living in Cyprus at that time. But what I like of the Balkans is, okay, there is a big shamanic tradition here. It has another, they call it differently. Here in Slovenia, it's called the old winds. I don't know how it's called in Serbia, but there is, shamanism is the way of our grandmothers and great-grandfathers. In the old times, everybody was living shamanically. They just didn't call it shamanism. Believing in harmony with nature, in synchronicity with the seasons, respecting the land and the river, not polluting. Well, this is the basis of shamanism. Yeah. But I fell in love with this region, man. I'm divorced now. I'm not with this woman anymore, but I decided to stay here because there are energetically in the Balkans, there is a very good balance and mix between the old energies and the new energies that are coming now. There are very young energies in these regions and very old ones, very wise ones,
Interesting.
So I decided that after traveling, I traveled 20 years nonstop, the entire world. There are just a few countries in the world I don't know. And after being everywhere, I decided to settle down in the Balkans because, first of all, I found the people very similar to the people in South America. Mm-hmm. That if you live in France or in Germany or somewhere, you don't find this. Okay, but in the Balkans, the personalities and the way of being of people are very similar to Central and South America. And you have here nature. Nature here is exploding. Now we are almost spring. Everything is, blooming and everything. I have to say I lived isolated from society. Right now, I'm in a farm in the middle of nowhere. I live, if I could turn around the camera, show you, have endless green in all directions. I'm in the middle of the forest. But I don't know, man. I mean, it's difficult to put. I like the people. I like, the mentality, the food, the wine. Everything here is good.
Why I ask you is because, like I said, you are someone who has seen the world and knows so many things, and you made your choice to be here. Yes. Many people from this region leave it yes. in search for some better places. And yes. I just wanted to mention this just to maybe give attention to that what we have here, maybe that we don't see. I also had the opportunity to see different places, and I more and more realized how this place is really special compared to US or, like you mentioned, yes. France or such countries. Yeah.
One of the goals of shamanism is, let's say, going back to nature, understand, going back to an organic life. And this part of the world is ideal for this, Also, I have a lot of people in my therapies that come, if I was in New York, it would be, or in London, my life would be much better. No. Understand? Here is a paradise. They're still pristine, they're still pure, and a lot of possibilities to grow, to expand as a human being, Yeah.
Wonderful. So, Uchu, let's go back to the Pyramid Festival.
Yes.
And you were talking about the region and everything. I think Arthur Clarke even mentioned Rtanj Mountain as a navel of the world, something like that. So definitely it's going to be a very special place for a special occasion. Can you just a bit say something about what you're going to do there, what you're going to offer to people, what they can expect from you, and what do you hope they will bring from your sessions at Healing Days?
Okay, my idea, I do many festivals throughout the year, but I have a different feeling about this festival, I see it more like for the people, of the people, with the people, it's not this mega festival that, So what I'm bringing to the festival are very practical things. I want to give people tools that they can keep, using to better their life little by little. So one day we will work with shamanic journeys, which basically is living your with your consciousness, part of your consciousness is your body, and travels to parallel realities or energetic realities where you can do things there that will affect your life in everyday life, so like healing the inner child, connecting to your higher self, things like that. This will be one day dedicated to shamanic journeys, deep shamanic journeys, where this physical reality is determined by an energetic template from what they call the astral plane or whatever. So when you modify something in this parallel reality, it will modify this physical reality little by little. So my aim is to give people tools, because, if you go to a workshop of something and you feel good 1 week and something, but then you go back to your everyday life and you don't practice anything, or you cannot apply the things, it's kind of useless. So I'm coming with very practical and very useful techniques that are not, because shamanism is not the philosophy, it's not the religion, nothing like that. It's a set of practices that you can incorporate in your everyday life, no matter what else you do. If you're a Buddhist, if you're a Christian, whatever, you use this wisdom in your life. So this will be one day shamanic journeys. I don't know how many of them, but we will try to travel to the three worlds, the lower world, the middle world, and the upper world, In the lower world, we can meet ancestors, wise guides, we can do soul retrieval, bringing part of your soul that were lost, etc., meeting power animals. In the middle world, we will heal the inner child, meet the inner child, remember the dream, because we all had a dream when we were kids, but then we forgot. And in the upper world, we will meet our higher self, which is our most worth, trustworthy ally and teacher. Something like that. Some, if the time allowed, some small healing techniques that can be applied in everyday life. And then the next day, I will be holding a rapé ceremony. Rapé is a medicine from the Amazon tribes, which works instantly, open up your energy channels, balance you, ground you, etc. So more or less, in very short, this is it's gonna be. I always do at the end, and Q&A, part, because many people maybe have questions that are not exactly related of what we did, but they want to know something else. So I'm available for questions, etc. And overall, we will have a good time.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. So saying that, and also when I see that so many festivals now are going into this concept of kind of a tribal gathering, it resembles tribal gathering. It resembles people who are coming from different sides of the world as a tribe and unifying as a tribe. So how do you feel about shamanism today? Do you think it's kind of emerging back to reality and becoming like also integrating into the lives of people? And what message do you have for these new generations of these tribal, rainbow tribe, how they call it? Or
Yes. Okay. First of all these, let's say, rainbow gatherings, tribal gatherings, etc., are in all prophecies, in the Hopi prophecies, in the Babylonian prophecies, in the North American Indian prophecies, South America. They talk about a time where the tribe of many colors will gather. Okay, because you touch a very important point, because most of the problems that we have as a society are because we have been detribalized. Now it's everybody for his own, everybody taking advantage. When in reality, only the opposite works. You see, when Darwin was writing the theory of evolution, there was another guy, I think Proposky or something like that, Russian. I'm sorry, I don't remember the name exactly. He wrote another theory that instead of competition was cooperation. And he explained that nature and humans and animals, whatever, we only grow through cooperation, not through competition. Understand? So now is the time to come together. The Hopi prophecy says the time for the lone wolf is over. Now we need to get together. And so I believe that all these festivals, most of them actually, are an essential part of this regathering of the tribes, because it's only cooperating, it's only together we can change things. Shamanism for many years was seen as something dark, guys dancing naked in the forest with bones like this and everything. But it has nothing to do with this, understand? Concepts that shamans were talking for thousands of years now are proven by quantum physics. I don't know, your audience don't know this, but I have a background in physics, understand? So I'm putting together concepts of quantum physics that support the practices of shamans. So my message, for the new generations is, you need to go in the same direction that life goes. You need to flow with the flow of life. Because it's like a river, understand? A river, it flows. And it's not worried about anything because it knows that it will reach the ocean. It will reach its destination. Shamanism is a flowing river, while philosophies and religions are lakes, are dead. They never solved anything. A lake is dead. A river is alive because it moves. So there is an intention. In Nagualism, we call it the intention of the eagle representing the Great Spirit. So when you align yourself with the flow of life of the Great Spirit, everything just happens naturally for you. So what I recommend is going back to nature. Doesn't mean you need to live in the forest. You can live in the city. It doesn't matter, but your own nature. For me, it's funny when people say, this weekend we go to nature. You cannot go to nature because you are nature. You are nature in human form. So what we need is to take our place in the whole game of life. And you see, we are human beings, but we became human doings. We are always doing, achieving, trying, instead of being. When you simply are, you're in harmony with everything. And nature will support you. The Great Spirit, the energies will support you. So all paths lead to the same, It's just, the Nagualism is more organic. It's more, if you look back, anybody that is listening to this podcast, if you look back into your roots far enough, you will see that your origin are shamanic, So that's my message. That's what I bring to the festival, to show people that no matter what they do, changing a little bit into a more organic way of growing, it will change the world. And if we do it all together in festivals, in gatherings, in places like this, well, we will accelerate the so-called awakening. Because you mentioned the New Age before, and I think the New Age I'm sorry if I said this and I offend anybody, but the New Age is a trap. It's creating a false awakening in people. Oh, I feel awake. I'm a goddess. Women put flowers in the head and walk barefoot, and I'm a goddess of nature. And guys put a poncho and beat a drum. Oh, I'm a shaman now, and whatever. All this New Age mixed of things is a problem. But if your guidance comes from the inside, then you are in the right track. That's why one of the exercises we will do at the festival is meeting your higher self, which is your best guide. Understand? So I'm very happy for the opportunity to join, because I love Serbia. I've been, and after the festival, I will stay in Serbia sometime. I will go some other places for vacation, because I have a love affair with Serbia, and now the opportunity to go to this pyramid I never been, I'm very excited about it.
Wonderful. We basically touched many important topics, and let's maybe just touch another one. And you mentioned awakening, like the time of awakening, the mass awakening maybe. And what we see now around us is Earth in total turmoil. I maybe think we are even on the edge of the Third World War, something like that. I mean, the news around the world are horrible. You can expect anything. Wars are waged, everywhere. We in Balkans are used to it. So many generations here went through different wars. And at the same time, so we see the old world or the world, current world is collapsing. And at the same time, we see tribals are gathering. There are some nice festivals where people walk barefoot, like said, and women are holding flowers in their hair. And, there is this also, like it was in maybe 60s, like flower power, while the Vietnamese war. So we are kind of age of Aquarius, right? All the things, new age. What is your take on this? So how do you see the world? Are we gonna, survive all this that's happening now? How do you maybe think of the future? How you imagine future? Is it going to be a future with people like they are now? What's going on here, man?
Okay, well, this is like this. This is the way I see it. I wrote an article about this in 2008. It was called "The Separation Has Begun."
Okay.
What is happening is the reality is splitting. We are living in timelines, So these timelines are determined by how you vibrate, by your consciousness. So in the past, let's say the war and the peaceful people, they were kind of in the similar timelines, but we are witnessing a split. Every time these timelines are more separated by frequency, at one point they will be totally separated. So your question, if we will make it, yes. Some people have, let's say, will make it, have no. Understand? But this requires a really big understanding of the cycles of life. I'm not going to go into details because it's very complicated. I can talk hours about this, but if you study history, you will see that there is a cycle that repeats every 138 years, which, by the way, is encoded in the pyramids, these proportions. And so the total split of the reality, it will happen in May 2040. And this is what people call ascension, for instance. You will ascend to fifth dimension, whatever they say, and other people will repeat the cycle. So unfortunately, things will get worse before they get better. But I absolutely know that we will make it,
So sorry for interrupting, but just while we are at that moment. So many teachers say that one of the ways how you can maybe transfer to a desired timeline, to a maybe better timeline, is to stop feeding the bad timeline. Stop taking the news from like war-torn countries, all these horror scenarios from everywhere in the world, and focus your attention to what you like and the positive things. So is it like all about our attention, about where the attention goes, energy flows?
Absolutely. Attention creates reality.
Okay.
Understand? The reality is not as real as we think it is. As I said, we call it a dream, holographic, whatever. This simulated reality we are living in, this is not the real reality. We, you and I and all everybody listening, we are outside this simulation somewhere, the real us. These are just avatars. These are just, we are playing a video game, let's say. So the reality, the matrix, if you want to call it, I said many names for people, it renders reality for you according to your attention, where you put your attention. But for the matrix is a mechanism that follows the rules of physics. They cannot escape it. So the conservation of energy is one of the rules. So for the matrix, it's much easier to create a reality for everybody, the same one. But as soon as you start awakening and expanding awareness and consciousness, your reality changes. So for the matrix, it's very difficult to create one reality for you, one for me, one for him, one for her, So I need to save energy. So when you awake to certain extent of consciousness, you exit the matrix, what is called. They call it like this, or you ascend, or whatever name you want to put it. I don't like the word ascension, because ascension implies that you will go somewhere up, which actually is inwards. Ascension comes from the ascension of Kundalini. From there is where they come this word.
Okay.
So at some point, your reality will be so different than the reality of the collective that you will exit and you will not come back here anymore. So I estimate, I don't know, less than 50% of people making it, and the other people repeating the cycle. But in the collective, things will get worse. Now, you mentioned the news, all the news, all the economy news or the war, it's all designed to lower your vibration, to keep you in fear, because as far as you are in fear, the matrix can render a reality for you very easily. So I don't know. I really don't know much, because I live, I say, in a farm, isolated. I don't have television. I don't read newspapers. I don't listen to radio. I don't know what is happening, most of the things.
Good for you.
Yeah, and I really don't really care, But in the end, we will all make it. Sooner or later, but we will make it, yes.
Yeah. So, Uchu, it's been an amazing conversation with you. I think we covered everything that we need to cover. So, yeah. We have 1 hour here of recording. I think we spent our time. And I think even we talked about everything, even more things than I was planning for. So beautiful. Yeah. You have anything maybe you want to say?
No, just to say that it was, I'm very grateful to you for this podcast. And I'm very happy to see you again, and I hope to make new friends in the pyramid, and walking, People many times say, oh, the path ahead seems blurry or too confusing. I don't know what path to take, whatever. My advice is just keep walking, because every step clarifies and refines your path. So let's gather together, let's have good time, let's do something cool, and from there we see where life takes us.
And just like that, we are at the end of our chat with Nagual Uchu. Time flies when you are uncovering the mysteries of shamanism and the power of ancient pyramids. So, Uchu, it's been fantastic having you with us, diving into your experiences and hearing about what you've got planned for the Pyramid Festival. To our listeners, we hope today's episode has sparked your curiosity and maybe even inspired you to explore more about these topics on your own. Remember, whether it's the mystery of ancient structures or the journey of self-discovery through shamanism, there's always more to learn and experience. Don't forget to check out the Pyramid Festival. It promises to be an eye-opening experience, and believe us, it's gonna be. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time with some more interesting interviews. Stay curious, keep exploring. Take care, everyone.